We're going to go for a walk up to the farm. So this is a common route that I take of a morning. So it's 7:30. Today's harvest, which means we've got the natural farm and the aquaponics that we'll be harvesting. I think it's a fairly small harvest today. Sometimes during the summer, the heat really does stop things from growing. There's some mongoose. Mongoose got introduced to the islands when Hawaii was a big sugarcane producer. And the idea was the mongoose would go after the rats that were causing problems in the sugarcane fields. Except rats are sleeping when mongoose are awake, and mongoose are sleeping when rats are awake. So the two never really met. Also, the island has a lot of feral cats. This is the gate onto the island. You can see a tent over there. It's often used by the various Korean groups that come on campus. Quite a few of our schools hold their schools inside of tents. It's a great way to be. You get the breeze coming in from the sea through the tent. Keeps everyone cool. Obviously cheap. You don't have to worry about upkeep of the building, and there's no need for air conditioning. And this over here is the Go Centre, kind of like a hotel on campus. A lot of our guests stay there, teachers, lecturers, and people that visit us, if there's room, can stay there as well. About $70 US a night, which compared to the rest of Kona is cheap. This is the Plaza of Nations. The other day I was looking up here and there were 2 New Zealand flags, and there's only one now. In this quarter we only have about 140 students, so there's only about 500 people on campus. Next quarter it's looking like we're going to have at least 600 students, so there'll be about 1,200 people on campus. Not all of them live on campus like Chris and I. We live in housing off campus. That's the Banyan Tree Cafe. It's a unbranded Starbucks manned by YWAMers, so the coffee's pretty nice and cheap. This is one of the original buildings here, Building A. So this originally was a hotel consisting of buildings A, B and C. Here we have the library and innovation, which is a digital media department. Over the far end is Building B, and this one up to our right is Building C. Over here is Building D, which got built later but in the same style. Good morning!
What's that for?
I'm taking a video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hello.
She works in the cafeteria as a Kukua crew, knows I'm a Kiwi. We have at any given time on campus about 70 to 100 people. Good morning. working as Kikua crew. Kikua means to pitch in, to give help. And about 6 years ago, Chris and I did that for 5 weeks, and I worked in the kitchen. So Kikua crew don't get paid, but they do get given free housing and free food. They work for about 6 hours a day, doing anything from working in the kitchen to grounds crew, or a number of other departments might use 1 or 2 people for various things. We've even had Kikua crew come up and work on the farm. Here's some of the newer buildings that we have on campus. These got built about 5 years ago. I'll just go and I'll have a quick look at the Aloha Cafe, or cafeteria. So this can seat quite comfortably about 1,000 people. And so we serve, at this time we're most likely to be serving about 500 meals a day, 500 meals a meal. Lunch would be the biggest meal because that's when a lot of the staff also are on campus who live elsewhere. Chris and I often will eat lunch on campus. For most people, their day starts at 8. Breakfast is from 6:30 until 7:30. Actually, from 6 until 7:30. The whole campus is on 100 acres. The part we've been walking through is about 40 acres. Then the farm where we will be in a minute is on part of the other 60. Up into this area is sort of the area that's kind of under development. Got various trailers up here for campus development. The engineers that are on campus that help with all the permitting. We're coming up on the boutique. So we get a lot of students come in, obviously, and when they get ready to go on their outreaches, they have to pare down their gear. And so a lot of stuff gets donated, and you can come into the boutique and find anything you might need to find. This is our CrossFit centre called Respect the Corners. So you'll often see a few dozen people here sweating their little hearts out. So this is like an op shop, but it's all free. We will often drop stuff off here, clothing and other things we no longer need. I find it a useful place to find electronic equipment that I often use to help repair other people's gear. I've just been doing a whole lot of cabling on campus, so the container here was full of all sorts of interesting stuff I was allowed to get my hands on so I could do my work. We've got a metalwork shop there. And then the next one over here is a woodwork shop. From time to time we have mechanics that come and volunteer their time. And so we've got over here the auto shop. We've got a couple of people on campus that can do quite a bit of mechanical work, and so they will often be working in here. That little building that's kind of out of the way is actually a machine shop. Been in there a couple of times, but no one actually uses it because there's no one qualified to use it. So this is the upper part of the campus. You tend to get a good workout to walk up here. Everything being on the side of the volcano means you're forever climbing to get to where you want to be. Good morning. There you can see a good view of Hale. It's still classified as an active volcano. I don't think it's gone off for about 60 or 70 years. Kind of like Mount Ruapehu. Well, actually less active than Mount Ruapehu. And this is the farm. I'm a little bit early this morning. So here we have our meeting area. Someone's already cleaned out the tubs for the harvest. This is the natural farm where we develop things around using indigenous microorganisms to help grow everything we grow. We make our own soil. So not a lot to harvest here today. We harvest every Tuesday, and at different times of the year we actually can be harvesting a lot. Legumes waiting to be turned back into the soil for nitrogen fixing.